All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Valsa Williams. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi showcases India as a nation of innovations and digital economy to hold 13th India-Japan Annual Summit with his Japanese counterpart Shinzo Abe in Tokyo this afternoon. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj reaches Qatar on the first leg of her two-nation visit to West Asia. Vigilance Awareness Week to be observed from today to achieve a corruption-free society. In Brazil, far-right candidate Jair Bolsonaro wins presidential elections. In men's hockey, India and Pakistan declared joint winners of Asian Champions Trophy in Oman after rain washes off summit clash. And fourth ODI between India and West Indies to be played in Mumbai today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi showcased India as a nation of innovations and digital economy at the Indian Community Function in Japanese capital Tokyo this morning. Addressing the gathering, Mr. Modi said India has a very good ambience for startups as it ranks second in the world in the startup ecosystem. The Prime Minister said,
स्टार्टअप के मामले में दूसरा बड़ा इकोसिस्टम बना है। साथियों, भारत में जो भी इनोवेशन हो रहे हैं, जो भी समाधान तैयार हो रहे हैं, वे सस्ते तो है ही, गुणवत्ता के मामले में भी उत्तम है।
Mr. Modi highlighted that innovations in India are helping to develop quality solutions at cheaper cost. He gave Indian space missions as an example in which the Moon mission Chandrayaan and Mars mission Mangalyaan were successfully made at comparatively lesser costs. Mr. Modi said,
भारत का स्पेस प्रोग्राम इसका बेहतरीन उदाहरण है। भारत दुनिया के अनेक देशों, प्राइवेट कंपनियों के सैटेलाइट बहुत ही कम खर्च पर आज स्पेस में भेज रहा है। पिछले वर्ष ही हमारे वैज्ञानिकों ने एक साथ 100 से अधिक सैटेलाइट लॉन्च करने का अभूतपूर्व रिकॉर्ड बनाया था। हमने बहुत ही कम खर्च में चंद्रयान और मंगलयान अंतरिक्ष में भेजा। अब 2022 तक भारत गगनयान भेजने की तैयारी में जुटा हुआ है।
The Prime Minister said the Indian economy is increasingly becoming digital, where digital transactions have increased 7 times in the last 4 years. He said Jan Dhan Yojana, Aadhaar card and mobile technology are making revolutionary changes in the economy. RuPay card and BHIM app were also mentioned by Mr. Modi in his address, saying they have enabled financial inclusion and modern transactions. The Prime Minister said India has registered impressive advances in ease of doing business. Mr. Modi said the country is on the way to becoming a global hub in electronics and automobile manufacturing.
Make in India आज ग्लोबल ब्रांड बनकर के उभरा है। आज हम न सिर्फ भारत के लिए बल्कि दुनिया के लिए बेहतरीन प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं। विशेष तौर पर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और ऑटोमोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में भारत ग्लोबल हब बनता जा रहा है। मोबाइल फोन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में तो हम नंबर 1 बनने की तरफ तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहे हैं।
Later today, Mr. Modi will hold the 13th Annual India-Japan Summit with his Japanese counterpart Shinzo Abe. Issues of mutual interest, including forging ties in newer areas, are likely to come up for discussion during the talks. They will discuss about the prevailing regional and international situations as well. Key agreements are expected to be signed after the summit, which will be followed by the two leaders making joint statements. Mr. Modi's other engagements today include visits by some Japanese leaders, including Foreign Minister Taro Kono. Our correspondent covering the Prime Minister's visit has filed this report.
The relationship between India and Japan are considered unique in many ways. The increasing involvement of the Japanese institutions and companies in Indian infrastructure projects, industrial corridors and smart city programs are some of the palpable examples. There is also growing strategic content in the relationship between the two major Asian powers. As Japan stresses on a free and open Indo-Pacific, India has an Act East policy where there are well-pronounced convergences. Building upon the existing stronger two-way ties, the annual summit with the participation of the two Prime Ministers, Mr. Narendra Modi and Mr. Shinzo Abe, are set to give momentum to the growing friendship between India and Japan. With Nitin Kelkar, this is Jay Singh, AR News, Tokyo.
External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj reached Doha, Qatar last night on the first leg of her two-nation visit to West Asia. During her stay, Ms. Swaraj will call on Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, and will hold delegation-level talks with Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani. She is also scheduled to interact with the Indian diaspora. On the second leg of her visit, Ms. Swaraj will travel to Kuwait, where she will meet Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah, and other dignitaries. The External Affairs Ministry had said in a statement that the visit to West Asia is in pursuit of India's objective of enhanced engagement with the Gulf region, which is in India's extended neighbourhood. The Vigilance Awareness Week will be observed across the country from today to promote probity in public life and achieve a corruption-free society. The theme of the week this year is Eradicate Corruption, Build a New India. The observance of the week will commence with pledge-taking by public servants in the ministries, departments, PSUs, banks and all other organizations. During the week, several functions will be organized to create awareness against corrupt practices. The week in which 31st of October, the birthday of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, falls, is observed as Vigilance Awareness Week every year. The Supreme Court is likely to hear a batch of pleas today challenging the Allahabad High Court's 2010 verdict by which the disputed land on the Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid area in Ayodhya was divided into three parts. A three-judge bench headed by Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi will hear the appeals filed in the matter. The Congress has released a list of 17 candidates for the ensuing Chhattisgarh Assembly elections. According to a party statement, it has renominated its 5 sitting MLAs. With this, the party has so far announced candidates for 72 constituencies out of 90, which are going to the two-phased polls next month. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in.
जन्म से लेकर 5 साल तक की उम्र के बच्चों को 7 बार टीकाकरण के लिए लेकर जाना है। 7 बार में से एक भी छूटना नहीं चाहिए। ये जिम्मेदारी हम सबकी है। ये जो बीच के टीके भूल जाते हैं ना, ये देखिए अच्छी बात नहीं है। सारे टीके समय से लगेंगे, तभी जानलेवा बीमारियों से बच्चों को सुरक्षा मिलेगी। 5 साल 7 बार छूटे ना टीका एक भी बार।
स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
In Brazil, far-right candidate Jair Bolsonaro has won a sweeping victory in the presidential elections. With almost all votes counted, Mr. Bolsonaro bagged 55% votes against 45% for Fernando Haddad from the left-wing Workers' Party. Mr. Bolsonaro is scheduled to take office on the 1st of January next year. In his victory speech, the president-elect said he would defend the constitution, democracy and freedom. He said he would make Brazil a great nation again. In Sri Lanka, pressure is growing on President Maithripala Sirisena to call for an early session of Parliament to decide who enjoys the majority of the House. U.S. State Department called on the President and the Speaker last night to immediately reconvene Parliament and allow the democratically elected representatives of the Sri Lankan people to fulfill their responsibility to affirm who will lead their government. We have a report from our correspondent.
U.S. statement is significant as Parliament Speaker and opposition leader has also demanded early session to decide who commands majority of House. Deposed Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe maintains that he has the majority and there are fears that horse trading of MPs will happen before Parliament reconvenes on 16th. President Sirisena has however justified his decision and has called meeting of diplomats today to explain the constitutional provisions. Mr. Rajapakse, who will take over office today, has said that he will try to call for early parliamentary elections as soon as possible. Santosh Kumar, AIR News, Colombo.
An Indonesian passenger plane went missing today shortly after takeoff from capital Jakarta. An AirNav Indonesia spokesman said in a statement that a Lion Air flight has lost contact. The spokesman said a search and rescue operation is underway. Back home, the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana is bringing a positive change in the lives of people across the country. It is a scheme under Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency, Mudra, designed to meet the financing needs of non-corporate small business units. In Nagaland, a total of 217 crore rupees have been disbursed to 17,825 beneficiaries under the scheme. Here is a ground report from our Kohima correspondent.
Shishu loan is designed for startups, while Kishore is for businesses that have already started up. Tarun is for those businesses that are already established but require financial help for expansion of the business. Under Shishu, 12,691 beneficiaries were benefited in Nagaland, and the total amount disbursed was 40.16 crore rupees. Under Kishore, 3,837 accounts have been opened and 90.76 crore rupees was disbursed, while under Tarun, 1,297 accounts were opened and 86.07 crore rupees have been disbursed. Ms. Rokono from Kohima village shared how she has benefited from the Mudra scheme.
I am from Kohima village and I am running a stationery shop in the village. To run a stationery shop, I needed to invest at least 3 to 4 lakh rupees. Then I came to know about the Mudra scheme and decided to apply for it. Within a short period of time, I was able to receive the money and begin my own business. For the last 2 years, I have been running the shop, and as I felt, it is very lucrative.
In fact, the Mudra is becoming one of the most popular and sought-after central scheme in the state. With Mengu's report from Kohima, Abhishek Kumar, AIR Delhi.
On to sports. In men's hockey, India and Pakistan were declared joint winners of the Asian Champions Trophy at Muscat in Oman last night. The tournament director declared both teams as winners after the summit clash was called off due to heavy rain. As the turf was completely waterlogged, discussions were held with the coaches of both sides and it was decided that the honours will be shared. In cricket, the fourth one-day international of the 5-match series between India and the West Indies will be played at the Cricket Club of India CCI in Mumbai today. The match will begin at 1:30 p.m. With 2 matches to go, the series is currently tied at 1-1. The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its weekly bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak, will bring you a discussion tonight on 21st Century's India and Vallabhbhai Patel. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Abhishek Kumar.
Thank you, Valsa. The Prime Minister's Japan visit and the political developments in Sri Lanka are noticed prominently in the press today. Special strategic partnership with Japan, says Modi, is a lead in the Hindustan Times. The Statesman headlines, Defense on agenda at Modi-Abe talks. Modi-Shinzo warmth precedes talks today, writes the Asian Age. India roots for democracy in Sri Lanka amid crisis, reports the DNA. India watching Sri Lanka crisis, states the Hindustan Times. The Hindu leads with Protect Ranil's privileges as PM, Speaker urges Sirisena. Rajpaksha calls for snap pulse in inaugural statement as new PM, notes the Asian Age. Delhi NCR's worsening pollution levels also receives prime focus. Season's worst air day in city. Gurgaon, Ghaziabad in severe zone, leads the Times of India. Mail Today states, air pollution time bomb is ticking in NCR with Diwali still 10 days away. On one of the major contributors to the pollution, the Pioneer notes, farmers prefer stubble burning as it is cheaper. President too busy. Trump declines India's invitation to be chief guest at Republic Day parade, reports the Mail today. The Hindu states Trump not to attend Republic Day event. His crowded calendar is being cited as primary reason for not accepting the invitation. 3 more Ramayana Express trains to hit tracks, covering locations associated with the Hindu epic, states the Hindustan Times on the Ramayana circuit, turning into a new mode of revenue for the Indian Railways. And finally, the Hindu reports, US techies hire nannies to keep children away from screens, with the fear of screens reaching the level of panic in Silicon Valley. Parents are now asking nannies to keep phones, tablets, computers and TVs off and hidden at all times. With that, it's back to you, Valsa.
Thank you, Abhishek. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi showcases India as a nation of innovations and digital economy to hold 13th India-Japan Annual Summit with his Japanese counterpart Shinzo Abe in Tokyo this afternoon. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj reaches Qatar on the first leg of a 2-nation visit to West Asia, Vigilance Awareness Week to be observed from today to achieve a corruption-free society. In Brazil, far-right candidate Jair Bolsonaro wins presidential elections. In men's hockey, India and Pakistan declared joint winners of Asian Champions Trophy in Oman after rain washes off summit clash. Fourth ODI between India and West Indies to be played in Mumbai today. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.